Hey, everybody, welcome to the Lunch and Lean. This particular episode is dedicated to the memory of Deano Johnson.
So you know I got to lean in.
Yes, welcome on back to the Lunch and Lean. As you see, I have two co-hosts with me, and I am so excited to have them here. I am your hostess with the mostess, Chase. Welcome back to another week. Thank you for all of the support that you guys have been showing this particular show in its first season. We have this episode, and the next week is the first season finale, and I'm going to be so sad to see you guys go. But we'll be back within the next couple of months. Before we get into all of that, though, let's go ahead and introduce who I have with me this week. One of my faves, down to the circle, down to the thing. Come on down this room, Miss Asia. What's the tea?
Nothing's tea, I'm just here
No tea.
to provide people with what they want.
Okay.
You'll know what's tea later on in the afternoon when we really get down to the lunch, okay?
Yes, okay, that's true because we got some tea to get into, child. It's a juicy episode. And one of our newest faces on the lean, the cat. Tame for creativity. Cat Tay Tay. What's the tea? What's going on, Shantae?
Oh man, I'm just happy to see you guys, and I am praying and fasting for peace in this world because it needs it,
Absolutely, the world does need peace. That's what we need now. And with that being said, we're gonna go ahead. So let's do lunch. Oh no,
except me.
You're not gonna do lunch?
No, man. I told you I'm fasting and praying for peace. But I'll sip some tea.
Okay. Well, yes. Have some tea on your lunch. Good Lord. Hey, man, don't even want to eat, child. I will eat it for you, honey. With that being said, make sure that you guys like and subscribe to this video. And we're gonna try to get through this thing. But before we do, we want to go ahead and expound further on the opening. So we want to go ahead again and dedicate this particular episode to the memory of Deano Johnson. Deano Johnson was allegedly murdered in Detroit, Michigan, back in June. Deano met Anthony Brock on Facebook on June 19th, and the two scheduled to link up. Brock allegedly locked Deano in the trunk of his own car and then went to go pick up his friend, Darnell Wilson. The two drove around to the east side of town where they got Deano out of the vehicle and allegedly shot him multiple times. And then the next day, shot him multiple times and then locked him in the trunk. The next day, Anthony Brock then went ahead and set ablaze to the vehicle, actually burning his own legs in the process to get rid of the evidence. There was a young lady who was in the vehicle with them at the time who states that they told her that there was someone in the trunk, but she thought it was a joke until she heard the two men speaking to someone in the trunk, and then she heard multiple gunshots. With that being said, both Anthony Brock and Darnell Wilson are currently in custody with no parole and are facing up to life in prison for their actions. And I just wanted to, first of all, send my condolences to Deano Johnson's family and friends. My thoughts and prayers are with you guys. And I also wanted to go ahead and just warn you guys that hookup culture can be pretty unsafe. And this is for someone who is the king and the queen, honey, of the hookup culture, darling. I have also had to go ahead and take into account how unsafe it can truly be if the vibes are off, if something's not right, if my mind is telling me not to go, my body's telling me not to go, my spirit's telling me not to do it, I won't. And also make sure that you guys are sharing your locations with someone. I know you don't worry about it in your business, but give it to somebody so someone can know where you're going, because until we really know people, we don't really know people. And this just really hits home. And it doesn't matter to me whether you're a part of the LGBTQIA community, you're straight, you're gay, whatever your orientation is, whatever your identity is, no one cares and nothing is safe. So just make sure that you guys are doing anything and everything you can to remain safe in these trying times. Before we move on to the rest of lunch, did you guys have anything you wanted to say, Shantae?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely praying for the family and friends, like you said, because I can't even imagine losing someone in a way that's so horrific. And just the fact that the mindset of the people who hate so much to do these violent things, it's just unfathomable. So I just really hope people get the help that they need. I think the pandemic has also affected a lot of people, and we've seen a lot more strange things happening too, but the homophobia, heterosexism, all those things, they have existed before the pandemic, but I just think that people definitely need to get help. If you cannot let someone live their life and you're wanting to attack people, like, there's something wrong with you. So I really hope that, the family gets a sense of justice and gets a sense of comfort in this trying time. And I just really hope that people stop the hate and get help if you really that disgusted or whatever it is by other people, because it's not worth it. And you're only going to destroy yourself and our community even more.
Thank you so much, Shantae. Asia, did you have anything to say, or did you want to move right on with lunch?
I will say that it's imperative to be careful in this climate in terms of hookup culture, like you said. No matter what, I just wanted to reiterate that because it's dangerous and a lot of people are unstable. And then in terms of the hate, I am personally upset about it overall. I feel like you can think how you want and have your own personal opinion about people and how people live their lives. But when it comes to you want to physically, mentally, financially harm them, then you have issues. Like that is an actual problem. And everybody just needs to be careful about how they feel towards people and then what those feelings will incur and how you treat those people.
Absolutely. So well said, guys. And I just want to say before we move on that we here at the Lean don't stand for any kind of hate unless it's against Melissa Gorga.
Or Psy.
Ooh, child, honey. Maybe this side girl. This side got the girls in the uproar. With that being said, we're going to move right along with lunch. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe. And thank you for rocking with us as you have through all of these weeks. This is the penultimate episode because next week is the season finale of the Lunch and Lean as we move into our new season here at the Lean with all of these shows that we have. We have right now airing The Real Housewives of New York. We have, I think, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is still on the air. We have Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And then coming up, Married to Medicine, Real Housewives of Potomac, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Miami. The Bell Collector just announced that they're back, so we're going to see about that. There's just a lot going on, child. It's team too much down to the lean. With that being said, let's get into some mess, girl. And we're going to go ahead and get into the mess because Nene Leakes is on Instagram crying, but she's actually bearing her soul in a very vulnerable way. I'm going to play this clip, and then I'm going to see what we all think about it, honey. It's very apparent to me that she may still be in that grieving process and now trying to process life as it is moving forward. Let's go ahead and take a look at it.
A partner for life, right? And I was thinking about having a partner for life. Even though I know the person isn't right for me, I'm just thinking having a partner for life, at least there's someone, maybe we would have an agreement that this person would be there for me and I would be there for them during hard times or medical times or something like that. And so she and I was throwing this conversation back and forth. And so we were throwing this conversation back and forth. And I feel like the reason why I want to talk about it because I feel like there's many women who would feel like, I know this guy is not the right guy, but maybe we are cool enough or friendly.
All right, you guys, that was just a brief clip of what Nene was on live discussing. And, listen, we kind of tend to relate to the clips in our own way. It made me sad because I'm thinking to myself, my mother recently is widowed as of 2021, and I worry about her every day. You know what I mean? Like, that's my mama. You know what I'm saying? So, knowing that she no longer has her husband, that is my biggest fear for her, that she doesn't feel alone. You know what I mean? And so I think that Nene really is crying out here. I think that she's been through a lot. And I think that that is showing that the deaths, the sicknesses, the illnesses, the loss of the show, because that's the way, you're grieving that. That was a big part of her life. Um, and now what she's discussed, I don't know. Asia, what did you think about that?
I'll just speak overall. I have been in a situation before where it was just like, I just don't want to be by myself. It was when I was living in Chicago and it was cold. And so I was with somebody who I didn't even like. So I get where she's coming from in terms of that. The loneliness will creep in during certain times. And maybe because it's getting colder, it's hitting her. And she's kind of just like, finally just saying something into everybody because she can't hold it in anymore. I'm happy that she's saying stuff. And then on the other hand, I just feel like losing Bravo, I think we should have all been a little bit more lenient towards Nene's actions overall when it comes to Bravo and the lawsuit and everything, because of what she was going through. She was going through a lot all at once. And the spiral is showing why. So I don't like the fact that people are like, oh, she dug her own grave, da da da. She's just going through a lot, and you really can tell she doesn't have anybody she didn't have anybody aside from Greg to really let these feelings out to. So yeah. I always cut Nene slack, especially ever since we found out Greg had cancer.
Whew. Shantae, anything briefly?
Yes, I think Nene is one of the greatest and best to do, the whole reality TV game. And it's like, now that she's in her hour of need, I just hope that more people, rally around her. You see Carlos King did that interview with her, and she's vlogging again. And I really think that part of the vlogging and, doing the Instagram posts and things like that is because she is probably dealing with loneliness, like Aisha said, and she is looking for a deeper sense of community. And it doesn't seem like, Bravo and those other people that she's had problems with have been there for her in the way that she thought that they would be after all that she's given, to the network and to the people. So I just hope in the future she pours her energy into things that, will be life-giving for her and that can, help her even more and pour back into her. So I just keep praying for Nene, and I love her. Again, she's one of the best to ever do the reality TV game, and she deserves to have some peace and a second, chance at just being her fabulous self.
I think it's coming.
Go ahead, Asia.
No, I was just saying, I think it's coming. Like her second coming is
coming too. Her second coming is coming. And I just want to say, and this is going to be so crass, but I'm going to say it because we've been kind of down in the dumps, stay on the lane. Get you some dick, Nene, if that's what you want.
Yes, moving right along to the D.
Moving right along with our bombastic review. All right, you guys, we're moving right along. And we're going to Married to Medicine. The trailer came out last week, and Dr. Heavenly and Miss Quad, honey, they went ahead and did a review on the trailer and answered fan questions. And they did go ahead and touch on Mariah, which was interesting. And they may have even hinted that she may be the one actually in the casket. But there was something else that I saw that was more important than even my Queen Bee possibly making a return. And y'all know how I feel about the Queen Bee. It's that Quad is actually taking on that same production company that allegedly forced the Queen Bee out of her role, even though she created the show and gave everybody a platform. And if it wasn't for her, they wouldn't have no show to steal. And if it wasn't for her, there wouldn't be no. Okay, all right. I'm good. I'm back. I'm sorry. And what they're actually doing, I'm all right. I'm gonna push through it. What she is saying is that nobody consulted her when it was time to bring her ex-husband and his new wife onto the show, and she is none too happy about it. Let's hear from Miss Quad, baby.
It's no secret that this is the first time, I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, that we've had a reality TV show show somebody go through a tumultuous marriage, get a divorce, and then bring back the husband and then the new fiance, which turns into his new wife.
Right.
That's unprecedented. How do you feel about them doing that?
Well, I honestly, I got to keep it real with you. And all the things that you noted and stated have been absolutely true just a moment ago, for sure, in reference to what I've been through and what we see with the ex-husband and the new wife on the show. I feel disrespected. I feel disrespected. And it's though the conversation was never had with me, and I've been a staple on the show since conception. And so, just knowing that it wasn't a pleasant marriage, and people kind of having some understanding and some insight about what transpired in our marriage. And clearly we sat there in New York on the stage with Andy Cohen, and we were very authentic and very real and raw. And so things were stated there. And I just feel like, where was the respect for me when this decision was made? And I know my cast members don't make this decision.
Right. We definitely
you all don't make the decision.
But
all right. So there you have it from Miss Quad herself. She is none too thrilled that the girls pulled a stunt on her down to the production company and brought her ex-husband and his new wife onto the show. There was no regard for her. No one actually asked her. But I do, I stand with Miss Quad, and that's going to shock a lot of people. Hashtag I stand with Quad. Okay, but when they did the Queen Bee, was she so as irate, or was she helping them do it too? I don't know. I asked the people, Shantae, what's the TTT, girl? Does Miss Quad have a leg to stand on?
To be honest.
That's your square girl. Be honest.
Listen, I feel like Dr. Gregory deserves to be there. Those are his friends. Those are his people. He has a new wife, that's going to fit in with the other ladies. And I understand why they did it. It's going to be great TV. And he has more of a place on there to me than Quad, because she's not even married to medicine, my love. So if she has a problem with it, she can, turn in her papers. But if, she's down to, put on her big woman panties, and do her job, then let her do her job. But if not, don't complain, I'm sorry, that's how I feel.
Okay. Ooh, Asia. Ooh. Has Miss Quad lost it, or does she still got it? She got it. What's the tea?
Still got it. Well, I think we'll see if she still got it, depending on how she performs this season. Where I agree with Quad is that she has the right to feel disrespected. Any woman or any man in this predicament would feel disrespected. Is she owed an explanation? No. And is the company's job to make good TV? Yes. So they're going to do whatever they can to make good TV. And Quad has not been producing good and or quality TV these past couple of seasons. And I love Quad. Like I'm a Quad fan. But she hasn't been entertaining for a while now. She needs Mariah to do it. And without Mariah there, it's lackluster. And
now here, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, please.
I agree with Shantae. Those are Dr. Gregory. Those are his friends. Those guys are his friends. Though even some of the female doctors are his friends, and he deserves to be on the show. He actually is married to medicine. It's a good story to follow. The lady pretty. Why not? We need more. Do you know how the men interact on that show?
Yeah,
they're very
prominent.
like prominent. They interact. They're friends. They hang out. They shoot scenes without the wives.
They shoot scenes without the wives
for free, mind you, unpaid. So we need more of that. We need that dynamic to still be there. And Quad hasn't brought any man around in how many seasons? Like she's not producing. So yes, she has a right to feel disrespected, but oh well. Nobody else.
I hate that I'm gonna say this, but I have to ask the question. Oh, it's taking everything in me to go ahead and do the right thing, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the right thing and just say this and see what y'all think before we move on. Now, Greg's last season at that reunion, Greg and Quad accused each other of abuse, physical, verbal, and mental abuse. Is it fair for them to bring back an alleged abuser in a prominent storyline as they're doing in order to get a rise out of Quad? And then she also said that while they want to bring these people on the show, they also did not want to increase her pay, knowing that the majority of that was going to revolve around her, which I also think was wrong. What do you guys think about that, Asia? What do you think about their history, knowing their history that we know, and then him being brought into the show? Do you think that should be a factor as to why he should not have been brought back?
Well, if that's the case, then Quad shouldn't have been brought back either, because she was also accused allegedly of abuse towards Dr. Gregory.
Shantae?
I agree with Asia. And the thing is, and it sounds bad to say, but Bravo also does have a history of protecting people who are in the wrong and these types of things. Like look at Michael Darby, for example, right? He had people, accusing him of all kinds of assault and misconduct, and they were still filming with him. And I know it's not, my place to say what they were thinking because I don't know what they were thinking, but I would guess that maybe they thought that Quad wouldn't come back if he was there. But if she did, then they were like, well, it's going to be good TV. So it's a gamble that they took, and it actually is in line with their past decisions as well. So that's something that you can't ignore,
Well, Shantae, in the Michael Darby situation, it's other people outside of his actual wife accusing him of these things. And it's multiple people, where in the Quad and Gregory situation, it was literally just he said, she said, both of them accusing each other. So that's, to me, that's the difference, where it's like, well, we don't know. There's no reports on this. There's no lawsuits. It's just a messy divorce. So I think that's where the mindset, because not trying to be funny, but they're a little bit more lenient towards them instead of them. So I don't see them giving Dr. Gregory a real pass if they believe that the disagreements weren't mutual.
I kind of feel that Married to Medicine is not so much under the Bravo watch as like the Real Housewives, because it's not a priority to them. So just kind of let them do whatever they want to do, and then whatever, right? Because if it was Married to Medicine, if it was the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Quad would have been gone a long time ago with those cocaine allegations. They would have got rid of her for that. So,
yep.
I don't know. Anyways, we're going to right along. Child, Miss Quad got the people down to the thing fighting. And we're going to move right into it. Let's get into it, honey. We're going to get into this lady. I so hate having to talk about her, but she always finds a way, right? She always finds a way, like those roaches she accused Nene Leakes of having. And that's because Kim Zolciak is dating a black man. She's dating Chet Hanks. And I don't know if she's dating him. Would you do it? Is he black? Because that's what he think. At least he think he's Jamaican. I don't know. With that being said, I want to recant that they're not dating, but they've been alleged by TMZ to have been, getting very close while filming this upcoming season of The Surreal Life, where they were stuck in that house for a certain amount of time, and they're saying that they got hot and heavy. I do believe that we have a report from TMZ, so we're going to try to see if these glasses help me, Sean S., with finding the right picture. So let's see. How the hell, Sean S.? You might got something. Go ahead, Shantae. According to TMZ, read that topic for me, if you could, please.
All right, says Kim Zolciak was certainly having fun filming her reality show amid her divorce from Croy Bierman, hitting it off with Chet Hanks during production in Colombia. Multiple sources connected to the show tell TMZ Kim and Tom Hanks' son were acting flirty towards each other while cameras were rolling in Medellin for MTV's The Surreal Life. We're told they really hit things off, with others in the house thinking they might have caught feelings for each other during the 2 weeks of production. At least that was the vibe while under the same roof.
I believe this is part two.
All right, it's unclear, however, if Kim and Chet ever exchanged digits before the show came to an end, and it's unknown if they're staying in touch today. But one thing's for sure, sparks were flying.
This type of a man, aesthetically, is right up Kim's alley. I don't know about the black thing, but Asia, did you have any thoughts on Kim Zolciak getting off of one horse and getting on another one?
No. I think it's nice that they got to go to Medellin, but that's it.
He said, "Get me out this country and take me to Jamaica. I'm acting brand new." Lord Jesus. We're gonna move right along, child. I don't even like talking about Kim. We have to cover. We don't have to cover her, but Kim Zolciak.
She's trying to find her next big papa. She's trying to find the next person to get.
She may want to go back to him because allegedly he never left his he never left his wife Shantae. So she might want to go ahead and look back into that. With that being said, Jada Pinkett Smith went ahead and did an interview with people in promotion for her new book that she will be releasing. And in that interview and in that book is the tease of all tease, because she has let it be known that her and her husband, Will Smith, have been separated for years. Not only have they been separated for years, they don't plan on divorcing. I don't know. You guys can take that whatever you want. And she did go ahead and expound on the topic of the slap heard around the world between Will Smith and her husband Will Smith and Chris Rock. Asia, we have this excerpt from the Neighborhood Talk. Could you go ahead and give that to the people, please?
All right. I mean, that's what comedians do, says Jada. I would just have to say that I'm not really here to make any judgment on how people decide to express themselves and express their art. I'll say that several times I've had my feelings hurt, for sure. I've had my feelings hurt a lot by Chris, but at the end of the day, too, being in the spotlight, it comes with the territory. Jada also reveals in her book that Chris once asked her out on a date. He called me and basically he was like, "I love to take you out, Jada." And I was like, "What do you mean, Chris?" Jada Pinkett sells people.
It all makes sense now why he got his ass slapped. So you can't have her, so you want to keep making fun of her. You are very upset. It's very weird. The vibes are weird. You're weird. And if you keep her name in your mouth, I'm going to slap it out of your mouth. I rob a Will. Hashtag stand with Will. I think he has been abused throughout this whole thing. Give my man his career back and give my man my phone number, because I feel like he lost it because he has not called me since the incident.
Bye.
Shantae, did you have any thoughts on the news?
I just feel like Jada keep embarrassing Will. It's just too much at this point. I believe she had posted some video of her and Tupac, I think on the anniversary of Tupac's birthday. I remember seeing that up. And now she's saying that, they weren't even really together when he was doing all that nonsense at the Oscars, slapping and yelling at Chris Rock. So it just makes me feel so sad for Will. I feel like both of them could benefit from staying out of the spotlight. I know the Red Table Talk was paying her to air their business all the time, but all money is not good money. I can't see how all these revelations about their marriage isn't doing damage, especially to Will. So I just hope, she can take a step back, if not for her sake, for Will's sake, because he's got to be tired of being embarrassed. Like, it's embarrassing to me. I'm getting secondhand embarrassment.
Asia?
I appreciate the slap even more.
Sometimes you gotta slap her. Sometimes you gotta slap
I
her.
appreciate it even more.
I appreciate it even
more. The one thing that I will say about Jada is I'm gonna stay out that marriage, but it seems to me like Jada has just gotten older. She hasn't gotten more mature.
Oh wow. Okay.
She's just aging.
Mm.
She's not growing.
Mm. So the red table talk was all a farce? Was the table blue?
Let me tell you something. That red table talk stuff, did you ever get any substance out of that? Or was it
not really, but I did enjoy the different Royal reunion.
Okay, that's great, but that's not even like relevant. No, you didn't get nothing out that red table talk. And if you go back on Facebook TV and watch it, you're gonna be like, I got absolutely no resolution out of any of these. Maybe the Jordan Woods
August
interview.
Number 5.
Let me tell you something. No substance.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Whatsoever.
I'm sorry. Lord, that man know he's fine. With that being said, that's going to go ahead and conclude this particular episode of today's Lunch and Lean. You guys make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave us comments in the chat section to let us know what the tea is, honey. And we will be back. I want to thank you, Asia, for joining me. I want to thank you, Shantae, for joining me. And the next time, lunch is on you. How about that? You like that?
It's the imaginary hair flips for me.
Imaginary?
And more teeth.
Imaginary?
Yeah.
Did you say imaginary?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to say goodbye to her for a little bit because I know she lying, talking about no damn imaginary. Everybody see how long my hair is. This hair is long.
That was me.
Who said it? Oh. Shantae, I'm so sorry. Let me fix that. I know you. I'm sorry, baby. Let me fix that because I know Asia lost her damn mind here. Talk about imaginary hair, girl. My hair long. The longest hair on the lean is me. Okay. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe, as I stated earlier. And until the next time, lunch is on you. Yeah, that's cute. I like it. You don't like it? I like it.
Oh, that is so
you don't like
funny.
it? I like it. I like it. Whatever. We'll do it.